Hey everybody. Okay, so how many of you guys are excited for Frozen 2? I know I am. So before we get excited about Frozen 2, let's focus on Frozen the first Frozen movie. Because I'm hoping because from what we've seen so far in the trailers, and since we're getting so close to the release date of the movie, it'll be interesting to see what kind of life lessons or how much the movie's going to impact me, in my life right now. We'll see about that. I mean, I don't know. But let me just get into my testimony about Frozen before I get into the movie. Before I get into the movie lessons. So, growing up, I think I told you guys, I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. I have an older brother and then 2 older sisters. Now, there was a time in my life where I grew insanely jealous of my sisters. It killed me to even be around them. I couldn't stand them, honestly. And it was when they were pregnant with both of my nieces, which are now, both of them are now 6 years old. So basically it was 6 years ago, back in 2013. So basically, my one sister that's 4 years older than me, she had her daughter in early March of 2013. And then at the end of Easter, so Easter that year was March 31st or something like that, and I was only 19 at the time. So I was like 19. I haven't even been out of high school a year yet, so you can. I was having a hard time. I remember that Easter was probably like the worst Easters I've ever had, and here's why. My other sister announced her pregnancy, and I'm like, okay, here I am, 19 years old, and now all my siblings are not only married, but now they're all having kids. And see, I didn't have a problem with my brother. No, it was just my 2 sisters I had issues with. I didn't have any issues with my brother. It was my 2 sisters. I went through a phase where I hated them. I hated them so much. Seriously. And I feel so bad saying this, but I wished that both of my nieces weren't even born. And I regret saying that. Or I regret thinking that now, because I love them. I love them so much. I love them like they were like my own daughters. But I mean, I was having such a hard time. Because, yeah. So basically then, when my sister had my niece, the one that I share my birthday with, I had a hard time. Because it's like, I mean, back then I didn't think, oh, this is not a very good birthday gift, But, I remember we went to the hospital and to visit her right after my niece was born, after my sister had her. And I felt so embarrassed. I couldn't even look at her. I couldn't even look at my sister. I couldn't even look at my niece. I was so, oh my gosh, I was so upset that I had to run into the bathroom and lock the door and cry. I'm serious. I was having a mental breakdown. I just could not, I could just could not stand it. It was hard for me. Seriously. It was. It was so hard for me. No, I'm serious. Oh my gosh. And I'm serious. I had such a mental breakdown. It was so bad. And then Frozen came out. And I didn't see it until it came out on DVD in 2014. And my mom bought it for me. I watched it. Okay, it's a good movie, you know. But I wasn't really paying attention. The second time I watched it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention. I cried through that whole movie when I found out it was about sister relationships. I bawled. I'm like, oh my gosh. I think God knew I needed this movie. Because it's like he knew that I was having issues with my sisters. And seriously, this movie changed my life. I'm closer to my sisters than I was back then. I'm serious. I mean, I love the relationship between Elsa and Anna in Frozen and in Frozen Fever, and then of course in Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I mean, all three of those movies and mini movies, I just love watching. I love watching Frozen. But then here's the part that I want to tell you. In this situation, I was Elsa. I had bad fear, bad anxiety, depression. Seriously, I was depressed. I wanted to be alone. I didn't want to be around people, which basically was with Elsa. I mean, basically, I was afraid to let people in. And I think that was Elsa's problem. The song Let It Go really put an impact on my life. I mean, the first several times I heard the song, I couldn't stop singing it because it was like those were my words. Seriously. Those were my words. So I'm like really excited. I was really excited about how much this movie impacted me and how much I related to Elsa. Seriously. So, yeah. And then at the end of the movie is what killed me. And then that's when I realized, Lord, I know you brought this movie to me for a reason. And it's not going to be easy, but I'm willing to grow closer to my sisters again. Seriously. And I did. Not only did I grow closer to them, I grew closer to my nieces and my nephews. Because when both of my sisters were pregnant with my nephews, they were pregnant like at the same time almost. And it was a little hard for me then too, but it's like it wasn't as bad. I handled it fine. Because it's like I know that I'll be okay. And I was. I think I handled the second pregnancies better than their first ones. Goes to show you that God does give us a second chance. So, yeah, so this movie really impacted my life. I learned a lot from Elsa. Watching that scene with Anna frozen made me realize if that happened to one of my sisters, I would want to cry and try to save them. I wouldn't want them to be like that. So, because they're family, they're blood. And if it becomes like and especially when it's all you have, or they're all you have. Like, Elsa and Anna lost their parents at a young age. Or I'm sorry, not a young age, when they were adults. And all they had was each other. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So now I'm going to read you this article that I found. 10